You are born in 600 BC Babylon beneath the shadow of Ishtar Ziggurat, the Babylonian goddess of love, fertility, and war. The first sound you hear is not your mother's voice, but the chanting of priests. Your father. Your mother doesn't even know who he is. Your mother lies weak on the temple floor, her wrist still marked with the cords of debt. You see, you've just been born to one of the many debt slaves of the temple, and now you too are considered the temple's property. As you cry, a priest dips his finger in oil and draws a circle on your brow. The goddess owns what she feeds. He murmurs. The oil dries to a thin film of gold across your skin. The first mark of belonging. Your mother weeps, but no one comforts her. She knows she has no claim over you. Ishtar claims you now. By the time you're 5, you learn that every street in Babylon leads in the end to the temple. You watch women, your mother included, climb its steps, veiled in linen, their heads bowed, their bracelets clinking softly like chains. They return hours later, pale, perfumed, silent. You wonder what work they did that made them so tired at night. You hear the temple bells. They say it is the sound of devotion. You think it sounds like doors locking. The air carries the scent of incense and sweat. You learn to tell them apart. In the morning, the priests walk through the markets collecting offerings, their hands shining with the same oil that once marked your head. They bless every cradle they touch, and every blessing feels like a claim. You do not yet understand the word sacrifice, but you already know what it means to be owned. You are 8 when you first hear the law spoken aloud. Every woman must sit in the temple of Ishtar once in her life and receive the embrace of a stranger. The words sound beautiful like a hymn until you understand what they mean. Every season, the temple gates open to women from every part of Babylon. They come veiled and trembling, some led by mothers, others alone. The poorest arrive in rough linen, clutching their fear like a bundle. The rich come on, litters their veils embroidered with gold thread, their perfumes drowning out the stench of the city. All of them must sit on the temple's marble floor, waiting for a stranger to choose them. The priests say it is devotion that Ishtar herself once lay with kings and shepherds alike. Sanctifying desire, you are told that engaging in the act pleases the goddess, and she would bring prosperity and fertility to all of Babylon. For it, you also learn early that holiness has a price, and that worship for women means surrender. Your duties grow with your age. You helped the older temple girls prepare for their night of offering, bathing them in oil, scented with myrrh, combing their hair into long black waves, painting their eyes with kohl, so they look more divine than human. Some girls laugh nervously, whispering about the coins they will receive, sacred silver, pure as moonlight. Others weep quietly, gripping your wrist as if you could save them, sometimes girls from outside. The temple talk to you. They tell you of their families, their markets, their gardens by the river. They even tell you about the hanging gardens. You envy their freedom when you help them dress. They call you little priestess. They even say, smiling faintly, when you're grown, you'll be a favorite. The goddess will bless you with rich patrons. The matrons, the older temple women that supervise, nod approvingly. Perhaps even an elite woman, they whisper, telling you that you just might become one of the courtesans who serve only nobles and priests, perfumed and jeweled, living in chambers draped with silk. They call it an honor, the highest devotion to the goddess. You not pretending to believe them after all. Only daughters of priests, nobles, and kings get that honor. But when night falls and the temple bells ring, you watch the women enter the sacred chambers, and none of them ever smile when they return. You come to learn that not all of them go home that day. Some of them are dedicated by their family to the goddess to serve her for life. Others, debt slaves like your mother because of their family's bad harvest. You even hear that war captives are enslaved in some other section of the temple. You grow up among ledgers and incense smoke. The temple's halls echo not with hymns, but with the scratch of reeds on clay. The priests count everything: barley, oil, wool, and the silver left by men who call their hunger worship. They say it is the goddess's economy that every coin feeds the holy fire, that Ishtar's favor shines brightest on those who give you fetch water for scribes who never look up your bare feet silent on the cold stone. Some days you help carry trays of sacred silver to the treasury, each piece pressed with the mark of the goddess. The weight of it feels heavier than it should. You learn to recognize the tremor in a woman's hands when she offers her earnings, and how the priest's scales always tip toward the temple. Sometimes you see them returning from service, hair undone, eyes, hollow lips, whispering prayers. You can't hear some of them tell you they miss the outside world, but you've never stepped outside. For you, the temple is the world. The scent of myrrh, the distant moans behind curtain doors, the clink of weighed silver, and the endless chant, because that's all you've ever known. A few years pass and you turn 13. This is when your whole life changes. They come for you at dawn. Two women in white linen lead you through a hallway that smells of oil and fear. The house of fragrance, they call it, where girls are polished into offerings. You strip trembling as they pour warm water laced with myrrh over your head. The scrubbing starts soft, then cruel. They scour your skin until it stings, until the water runs red with the dust of your childhood. Afterward, they smear you with cassia and sweet balsam, anoint your hair with oil until it gleams. They line your eyes with kohl, stain your lips with crushed pomegranate. You are to look radiant, not like a girl, but like a goddess who has chosen her fate. Remember, whispers the oldest attendant, her own wrists heavy with temple bangles. Look divine. Not desperate men pay more when they think it's worship behind the curtain. You hear laughter, nervous, brittle. The next group of girls waiting their turn. You realize the ritual runs like clockwork. There's always another dawn, another body, another promise to the goddess. When they dress you in translucent linen and dust your skin with gold powder, they say, now you belong to her. But as you catch your reflection in a polished bronze mirror, you don't see the goddess. You see a trembling girl who smells like sacrifice, holiness. You learn has a schedule, and today it keeps yours outside. The temple courtyard burns with torchlight drums echo against the ziggurat walls. Slow, rhythmic, obscene, you sit beneath a veil surrounded by men who have come to worship, merchants from Aeode soldiers, from travelers with dust still clinging to their sandals. They murmur prayers, offer silver to the priest, and wait their turn to choose. When one of them lifts a finger, it points to you. He pays the priest first, the offering to Ishtar, then kneels reciting words. He doesn't mean the priest blesses him and calls it the goddess's embrace. You are led behind a screen painted with stars, and the drums continue steady as a heartbeat. He smells of wine and copper. Doesn't even acknowledge you as he immediately points to the bed. He drops a silver coin on your lap as he says the ritual phrase, I demand you in the name of Ishtar. You can't even refuse it, as it is unlawful to do so. The temple says, since the money is made sacred by the act that your innocence is what blesses this over, when it's over, you stare at it, blinking, your body still trembling from the weight of what they've called divine. The priest's voice floats through the curtain. The goddess is pleased. Another prayer answered. You wonder whose prayer that was outside. You hear bells ringing another girl's turn, another purchased wrapped in pay. You clutch the coin cold against your palm. They told you it was sacred silver, blessed by the goddess herself, but you're also reminded that all you own belongs to the goddess. So the priest takes it too. You whisper to yourself, I am holy. But even the words taste like ash the first morning after you wake to instant smoke and silence. No one speaks of what happened. The older women move around you like shadows folding linens, sweeping floors, preparing for another night. You wait for someone to tell you you've done well, that you're holy now. But all you hear is the sound of coins clinking into the offering bowl beyond the curtain. Each note, a tally. Each sound, a reminder that the goddess has been paid days, turn into weeks, and your body becomes an archive of strangers, a living scroll written in bruises and whispers, in the hollow ache of repetition. Merchants, farmers, even curious teenagers. Everybody wants the goddess's blessing, so you oblige. You watch new girls arrive wide-eyed and trembling. You help them wash paint their lips. Teach them how to breathe through the fear. Some are barely old enough to bleed when they ask what it's like. You tell them, quick, forgetful. You never say unholy. You learn to keep the rules that keep you alive. Never refuse a client, never anger a priest. A mistake means punishment. Public whipping, sometimes worse. You've seen women dragged through the courtyard, their backs stripped red under the desert sun, or sold off as temple slaves when they grew too defiant. The priests call it discipline. You call it eraser. 10 years. Slip by like oil down a stone wall. You are 25 now and have become one of the regulars, a fixture of the temple, a holy harlot. The priests say, bowing with mock reverence, the city worships you and despises you in the same breath. Yet pilgrims still come from across the land to offer barley and silver in your name, pretending their lust is pity. The temple grows richer, its storerooms heavy with sacred silver, while you grow thinner, quieter, emptier. Some nights you hear laughter from the priest's quarters, the sound of feasting of fattened men praising the goddess for her bounty. You lie awake on your mat, stomach, hollow body, aching, whispering the same prayer into the darkness. The princess. But even that feels like blasphemy, because here, exhaustion is holiness. Silence is survival and hope. Hope is what keeps you breathing when everything else has already been taken. Years pass as you turn 30. You're no longer the maiden you once were, as the years have taken their toll on you. And unfortunately, this season is one of drought, which doesn't help you much with your appearance. The air itself feels parched and brittle, so much so that the goddess's altar cracks beneath the heat, the wells dry up, barley rots in its sacks, and the temple, desperate for offerings, raises its feasts as the priests declare it the will of Ishtar. The goddess demands more devotion, but everyone knows what that means. The women must serve longer hours, take more men, even those who can no longer afford to pray with silver. Soon, the temple gates no longer close at night. The holy service spills into the streets behind taverns, into merchant stalls. You watch one of the younger girls, barely 16, taken by a drunk worshiper who calls her as offering in the morning. She's dead. The priests gather around her broken body and call it sacrifice. You hear them say, "The goddess has accepted her. You can't stay silent anymore." You scream at them, at the goddess, at the stone walls that echo nothing back. You call them butchers, say that if this is holiness, then hell must be a kinder place. The priests' faces twist. They seize you, strip you before the courtyard, and fog you until the sand runs dark beneath your knees. Infection follows the wounds. The smell of rot clings to you. The temple healers refuse to tend to polluted flesh when the fever finally breaks. You're left scarred and weak, no longer beautiful, no longer profitable. Even the priests avert their gaze. You are to them a ruin, a body that once served the goddess but now offends her sight. One dawn a priest sends for you. He does not meet your eyes as he says, "You are released." He tells you that your presence offends the goddess, that you should have been killed for your sacrilege, but even your death would pollute the temple. You understand you're being discarded. It seems your presence offends them so much they'd rather let go of a good menial slave than accommodate you. You wander through Babylon for the first time in your life. The city is louder, brighter, crueler than you ever imagined. You pass vendors shouting of spices and figs, soldiers laughing with girls in bright veils, children chasing dogs through alleys. None of them know you, none of them care. For the first time you are invisible, and it feels almost like freedom. You cross the Euphrates at dusk, the sun painting the sky like blood in the distance. The hanging gardens shimmer tears of green cascading into the golden air. You've heard of them since childhood, how King Nebuchadnezzar built them for his homesick queen. You stare until your vision blurs, wondering what it must have felt like to be loved so fiercely that a man would raise a mountain just to make you smile. You press your last coin to your lips cool, worn smooth by 1,000 hands, and walk toward the fading light. When night comes, you rest in a quiet corner of the city's wall, the hum of life just beyond you. Notice the night is a lot colder than usual. You shrug it off until you also notice that even your vision is failing you. You realize your body has been failing you since your injuries, that you only held on this long because of hope. And now that you've seen the outside, there's no yearning left to keep you fighting, so your breath slows, and for the first time in your life, you don't feel pain when they find you in the morning. Your hands are folded around that single piece of sacred silver, and there is at last a faint smile on your face. Centuries pass, the ziggurat crumbles. The goddess's name fades into dust and legend. Scholars uncover tablets, hymns to Ishtar, verses of love, fertility, and sacred pleasure. They call them poetry, divine art. None speak of you or the others who bled in her service. Your names are gone, erased by time and sanctity alike, yet when they unearth the temple floor, they find silver coins, offerings left by trembling hands. One bears your faint mark worn. Smooth by devotion and despair, the goddess endures eternal and untouched. Her worshippers do not, but your silver remains, whispering what history forgot. Well, at least you got to see the hanging gardens.